I just did the same one. There we go.
Where is it?
No, it's the bottom one. Bottom one. There we go.
There we go. What about now? You got us? Let us know if you got us. Sorry about that. Yep. Gotta love technology. So, I will let a few more people kind of log on here, and we'll get going on this and talk about it. So, all right. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. Jesus. Wow, we got a unique situation beside us here. So you just have never know what you're going to encounter on the road. So, we. All right, got some people tuning us in. We'll just keep the comments going. We'll talk about how this game played out, dive into the numbers. But Auburn's got problems offensively, converting third downs, penalties again. Sacks were a problem again. Jackson Arnold's inability to make a play when he needed it. Well, he just not making any plays. I mean, there comes a time where you have to look at it and say, I can do this. I can make plays when the game is on the line, or I can't. And again, despite getting no third down conversions, Auburn had the ball twice in the last 4 minutes of the game with a chance to win the game, Faith. Had a chance to win the game, had a chance to win the game at Oklahoma, went down, took the lead. Oklahoma took the lead again, and then Auburn had the ball, could not sustain a drive. And, we just talked to Coach Freeze about what's going on with this offense and then the evidence. I don't know that he can give us an answer. The offensive line is terrible right now.
The only answer he could give us for right now is that it goes back to the coaching and it goes back to the staff. And, I mean, you saw that the defense played their tails off, but it's a consistent thing when there's continuing to be penalties.
Right.
There's continuing to be sacks happening, and nothing has been done about them week to week. And you're now in SEC play, and it's only going to get harder.
Right.
Because 2 weeks from now, we've got Georgia.
I'm not even, I know that game looms large, and you come home, you got a week off, you got an opportunity to try to regroup. But this is 2 times now. Like the offensive line is supposed to be the most experienced group on this team. You and I talked about that all in the offseason leading up to the season. Like, the offensive line should be a strength. Here's where I want to start, though. The problem I have is that our running backs touched the ball twice each in the first half, had 4 carries, 13 total rushes in the first half for Auburn. When you go into the game all week talking about, well, you know, they give up 140 plus yards on the ground. This is a team you can run the football on. That's Auburn's strength. And Auburn comes out and runs the ball 13 times and only gives it to Jeremiah Cobb and DeMar Austin twice each. And it's like Jason Caldwell talked with us earlier. 4 of those runs that they had in the whole game came on third and long situations where you were just trying to get some yards back so you could punt and maybe get some field position. But you know, to me, that's mind blowing that you came into the game wanting to run the football. You got the tools to run the football and you didn't do it. You didn't do it.
I don't know how many yards Auburn had, rushing yards, this whole game. 52. 52. Jeremiah Cobb, the leading rusher for Auburn, 28. Before it was Damari Austin with 10.
Right. I just don't think you're giving yourself a chance to win right now. I just think that when you look at it, Auburn, this is not a very good Texas A&M team. They're good, they're decent, but they're not some world beater team. I mean, you saw what Auburn's defense was able to do. They kind of held Texas A&M in check as a bend but don't break mentality on the road in a very tough environment. It's loud. You were down there. You can attest.
It's not that loud, though. That's the thing that Jason and I were talking about. You know, it's different than Oklahoma loud. It's different than Jordan-Hare loud because it's not as much of a tunnel as a lot of those places are.
Right.
So it's not that loud. There's absolutely no reason that people should be complaining about it being loud with the penalties that Auburn was having.
Well, again, we said going on the road, again, you got to play almost mistake-free, and so far from that. I think Auburn's converted 3 third downs in 2 SEC football games in 2 weeks. You're not going to beat anybody doing that. And to see that you still had a chance to win both of those games is really the crazy thing. It's time for a new quarterback. Sid said, Charles said, got to trust Coleman and Singleton on some 50-50 balls, at least give a shot. There's one thing there was a play in the second quarter where Auburn had an opportunity on a 4th down where Jackson Arnold scrambled and he got tackled short of the first. Eric Singleton was wide open in the middle of the field, and Eric Singleton showed his frustration. We saw him coming off the field. I don't know if this is fixable, Faith. I don't know that Jackson Arnold can pull the trigger when he needs it. We've seen too many opportunities where he will eat the football in situations where you can't do that. You have to make a play on 4th down. You can't run the ball and know you're going to get tackled 5, 6, 7 yards short of the first down. You've got to move the chains. You got a receiver standing in the middle of the field waving his arms. There's no way he couldn't have seen him. He was rolling to the side of the field that Eric Singleton was on. When I was in the box, I saw it perfectly. I'm like, well, man, this is wide open. This is going to move the chains, get us on down inside the red zone. And he took off and ran and was 5 or 6 yards short. I don't know that it's fixable is what I'm saying. I don't know that Jackson Arnold can get over whatever mental hump he's got right now, not turning the football loose. Again, standing in the pocket too long. Again, I know the offensive line has its woes, but a lot of this is on him not making a decision.
Okay, so with the Eric Singleton pass that you're talking about, I obviously couldn't see because my eye was in the camera thing, and so I couldn't see what you were talking about. But there have been multiple times where I think or am going and trying to follow or anticipate where he might go, and he just gets sacked. He just eats it every single time, and I'm like, okay, I don't understand, like how.
Yeah, and you look at his numbers: 18 to 33, 125 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions.
I looked sacked 5 times this today, and last week got sacked 10.
But I go back to what we were talking about. What is your goal? To be as efficient as you can and as conservative as you can, but that total is not going to beat anybody. You're not doing anything at the position of quarterback to give your team a chance to win. Look, at this point, I wouldn't mind seeing him throw a ball in traffic and try to make a play. If it gets picked, so be it. I mean, at this point, your philosophy mentally is, I don't want to make a mistake, and you're so overly worried about making a mistake, turning the ball over. It's to a fault. It's to a situation where you're not helping your offense move the football down the field. I don't know how you can go over. This is not some just stellar defensive unit for Texas A&M.
There's no question about it.
Let's be honest about it. We see the score 16-10. Auburn had a chance to win the game twice at the end. But if Xavier Atkins doesn't intercept that ball and run it back and give them the ball at the 2-yard line, what's the score? It's 16-3. And then you have a situation where Texas A&M scored a touchdown and a legal man downfield, stop them on the next play, kick a field goal to make it 16-10. You just had so many daggum opportunities.
Chance after chance. And it's just, it's not changing. It hasn't changed. It's not changing. And
so what do you do in this off week? I think that's the key. I want to talk about some of these comments. We do want to thank Peppertree Steaks and Wine. We were hoping it was going to be a little bit more jubilant post-game show. Not the case. Another tough one on the road. And but again, you can help ease your sorrows by going to Peppertree Steaks and Wine. They got plenty of wine there. They've got really good food there. So make the most of it. Go check out Peppertree Steaks and Wine in Auburn and Montgomery. They bring you this post-game show each and every week. And so we appreciate them so very much. But what do you do in the off week? Now you got to go back and reevaluate.
Okay, here's my question. So Coach Freeze keeps saying that, it's starting with the staff. The staff has to make a change. What's the change that him and his staff need to make? What's the answer there?
Why, first of all, why you got to evaluate why you are having so many mental mistakes at this point in time in the season. Look, I know you've been on the road. I know you've been in 2 tough environments, but you got a veteran offensive line group, a veteran offensive line group that you were talking about having maybe a couple of draft picks up there. I don't see a draft pick at all right now, not one. So that's a problem. You talk about the continuity of running the football and being a team that wants to run the football. Why aren't you running the football? This was a team that you knew you could run the football on, and you didn't do it in the first half. You pretty much wasted the first half on rush attempts. You only stuck the ball in the belly of the running backs twice each. And that's the guys that you thought were going to come in. I made that post before the game. When we were watching the running backs warm up, I said, this group has to have a big night tonight, a big afternoon. And you can't have a big afternoon when you don't get the ball. Let's get to some of these comments, Faye. Charles.
Yeah, Charles says, got to trust Cam Coleman and Singleton on some of the 50-50 balls, at least give them a shot. Amen on the offensive line. We have developed 0 passing games since Baylor, 1 yard in the fourth quarter with 2 drives to win the game in the last 2.5 minutes is an embarrassment. But when he does go to throw it to one of them, he either underthrows it, overthrows it, or
do you think he's sitting there? You and I just saw Freeze in the press conference. Do you think he's sitting there? I mean, he looked beat down, obviously, and he's thinking about. He's thinking about this is 2 times now. I've handpicked the quarterback for this team. He handpicked Peyton Thorne, and he went out and handpicked.
Well, somebody else made a great comment about that. They said basically that all the quarterbacks that were out in the portal are thriving now. Same thing as last year.
I mean, hard to argue. I mean, it's the truth. Michael said, let's sum it up by saying Jackson Arnold's terrible and Freeze looks frozen, pitiful. SG said, fire Freeze, Nix, and Thornton now. This was disgusting, pathetic, embarrassing. I would leave all 3 coaches in Texas. I don't even deserve a ride back. Gabe said it's pitiful. Wade said we've been hoodwinked. Ongo said, I think it's okay to start having the conversation of this is just a Hugh Freeze team, and this is the top level of football. Had maybe past him. I mean, we have a 2 and a half years of film. Yeah, I mean, did we find out that he's 1-10 at Auburn against ranked teams?
Yep.
Too. So I mean, again, I know some of that wasn't his fault when he inherited what he inherited, but now you're almost 3 years in. Craig said terrible offense. Jackson Arnold has to figure it out. I don't know that he can though, Craig. That's what I'm saying. That's my biggest point in all this is that there's no doubt physically and talent wise he's got the tools to be a great quarterback, but he cannot get over the hump of making a play. He's too scared to throw an interception or fumble or turn the football over, and it's to a fault. He's hurting the team by not pulling the trigger. I mean, the pedestrian numbers I just read off that he had, 125 yards passing, man. I mean, that ain't beating anybody. You're not going to beat anybody with 125 yards passing, and then you add the rushing total. I mean, we didn't have total offense in this football game. Auburn had 177 total yards. And Texas A&M had 414. Now, granted, Texas A&M 414 total yards, only 16 points. So, I ain't bend but don't break mentality. I credit our defense that kept us in the football game, and that's what they did last year.
There's no question.
That's what they did last year. Offensive line isn't helping Arnold, but he has missed some open guys by wide margins. Malcolm even seemed frustrated. The fourth on the flat out. No question about it.
Malcolm was.
I'm not going to say, like, I was in the press box and some guy said, he made a comment like, what's Malcolm doing? I said, what are you talking about, Malcolm? I'm like, that was a horrible throw. Like, he didn't give him a chance. If he leads him, Malcolm's able to turn upfield. He may score. Like, there was one defender over there, but it was such a bad pass, he couldn't catch it. -2 yards in the fourth going into the last drive. Are you kidding me? Look, that's another thing. You had the ball twice. If you are a championship mentality team, offensive-minded, coaching staff-wise, player-wise, you go out there and go, man, they've handed this to us on a silver platter. We haven't played well today. Let's go take this game. And the first time you didn't get a first down, and the second time you didn't get a first down because I don't even know what bogus play that was that was called on 4th and 1. And Freeze even said in the press conference, he said we should have called a timeout there. We should have called a timeout. Jason asked him about the running situation. First question, he said, yeah, probably should have done that more. Okay, and then I asked him about the third down efficiency and how poor we are on third downs over the last 2 games. And he's like, I hate to sound like a broken record, but, and he goes back into all the things that he talked about. And then you ask him a question about, I mean,
the penalties. Last week, there's some things that you can control when it comes to penalties. And then obviously last week, there's some things that you can't control when it comes to those things. And today, it was all things that are coached and controllable. You can control.
Scott brings up a phenomenal point, and I thought about this sitting in the press box. We're about to waste the best wide receiver room in program history. No confidence. You'll never win like that. Championship caliber defense is going to be wasted too. There's a Cobb only got a handful of touches as well. He needs the ball more. 0-13 on third down is awful, especially just add it up, Derek, over the last 2 games in SEC play. You've converted 3 times in 2 games. 3 third down conversions in 3 games. Justice said, was special teams good all game? I couldn't watch it all. I guess special teams was better.
Yes, it was.
Special teams did improve in this game. I thought Cock made his punts were phenomenal.
They were really good.
None of them were returned. I just thought that he did his job and didn't really have an opportunity to kick any field goals in this game. But Lamp said, man, this is 2.0 from last year. O-line is fine. Play calling is the problem, putting them in a bad situation. I agree to a point, to a certain point there, Lamp, but this false start and these penalties that put Auburn behind the chains are unacceptable. They're unacceptable. And Eric Singleton just alluded to that. He said somebody asked him a question. Go back and watch it on our Instagram page. He said, look, the problem is we're starting behind the chains on almost every drive. first and 15, first and 20, or, you make a play. And
or you even get to third down and you're like, what, at third and 4?
Right.
And then you're at third and 14 or third and
9.
There's a holding. And of course,
holdings.
When you get to that third down,
right.
You're not going to convert. So.
Yeah, Shane, 08 in the first half. I just thought it was a horrible offensive game plan in the first half. Jason said, serious question, when can players in the transfer portal? I'm seriously worried about players quitting now to protect their health, looking towards the transfer portal opening. I mean, it's part of the
so that was another thing I was going to bring up is, so we've got this whole wide receiver room that it looks, I don't want to say that it's going to be wasted, but
it's being wasted right now.
It's not being utilized the way that it could be somewhere else. And you look at Cam Coleman, you look at Malcolm Simmons, those guys have so much talent. What do you do when you're in this situation and you still have a lot of games left?
You're in a situation right now where, as a coaching staff, how much more of this do you have to see from Jackson Arnold to make a decision to change? Look, I know.
So what do you do? Bring in Deuce?
Or Ashton? One of the two. I mean, I don't know what else you do at this point. But obviously, what you have right now isn't good enough.
Working.
It ain't good enough.
It's not working.
Ain't good enough. And I don't know how many more times you got to see it again to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's putting him out there and over and over and over. He's not making plays.
Throw Deuce in against Georgia to start?
I don't know.
Really?
But what are you expecting? What are the realistic expectations of Jackson Arnold leading a team against Georgia? Even though it's at home, even though it's at night, it's going to be a great environment. Whatever. What are your realistic expectations for Jackson Arnold against Georgia's defense? This is not Georgia's defense. This is not even close to Georgia's defense. Ongo said when Hugh gets backed into a corner, has a little kid playing Madden who just spams pass plays over. Look, I don't even like the pass plays that are being called. I to be honest with you, I mean, I don't even like the design of got the tight end more incorporated in the game. Did somebody tune in this week? Did somebody tune in this week? Did they tune into the podcast this week? I mean, we talked about it, didn't we?
And they didn't use Preston Howard.
And then there was a play early in the game with him too, man. I hate
and that was what, holding?
It just on a scramble is a long run by Jackson, and he gets called. I mean, it's just
all the way back.
He has had a horrible start to the season. Donald said there's zero creativity with the wide receivers. I'm so disappointed. Let's look at this for a second since we bring up the wide receivers. How many targets for
6?
Cam Coleman?
Oh, for Cam? Oh.
The number of targets. Okay, he had 8 targets.
Mm-hmm.
4 catches, 18 yards. Cam Coleman had 18 yards receiving. 18 yards receiving.
Brandon Frazier had 10 more.
At one point, Brandon Frazier had negative 18 yards receiving in the first. I've got the paper. I was like, how bad is this? So, but 18 completions for 125 yards through the air, 24 rushing attempts, 52 yards, 15 rushes for Jackson Arnold.
125 yards in the air the whole night.
Yeah, I mean
the whole night.
Completely and totally inexcusable.
Wow. All right, this is kind of crazy. Texas A&M had 207 rushing and receiving yards total. The same exact yardage.
Right.
And Auburn had 125 receiving yards and 52 rushing yards.
What was the final total on penalties for Auburn?
10.
So 10 penalties for 69
yards.
And they had 13 for 119 and still won the football game because
Auburn had 10 first downs and Texas A&M had 21.
I mean, could not move the football. Could not move the chains, could not extend drives. I don't know.
They only had the ball about 7 minutes longer than Auburn.
It kind of reiterates the point that they're not very good either. You know what I mean? When you have a team that didn't get a first down conversion on a third, did not convert on a third, and you only won 16-10, and you gave the ball back to the opposing team twice and gave them an opportunity to win twice, you're not very good. Marcel Reed, what was his numbers? What did he end up with?
He ended up with 207 passing yards and negative 23 rushing yards.
I mean, is that some kind of Heisman performance at home? Fifth largest crowd in Kyle Field history, by the way, 108,449. It's a tough venue to play in, but I don't think I'm with you. I mean, it was loud, but it was not something where I was
It was not that loud. Like, I can totally say that Oklahoma was louder.
I tell you what's loud, it's a cannon when they fire. It rattles your chest.
Yeah, that was loud. That was scary. Whatever. I mean, it's just, again, how many times do you have to hear that, you got to go back and watch film for nothing to change from game to game? You go back and you watch film, and what do you say? Let's do this again because it's not the same team. It's going to work.
I don't understand really at this point what you're going back to reevaluate other than the performance at quarterback. Like, there's nothing to evaluate at wide receiver. There's nothing to evaluate at running back. Yeah, there's some things to maybe evaluate offensive line-wise, maybe moving some guys around if you want to. But it all boils down to the quarterback, Faith. It's real simple here. It's really, really simple.
A positive spot with how much the defense had to play and how well they played, I will say they did not look as gassed as they did last week. And so I know you can't build endurance in just 1 week, but I do think that their discipline on that side looks like it's improved from last week. So there's something positive.
The one positive play in this game was Xavier Atkins.
Yep.
Interception, almost took it to the house, got tackled on the 2, and Jackson runs it in for a touchdown. And Auburn's right back in the game. Plenty of time.
Plenty
of time. And then you hold them to a 3 and out.
Yep.
Get the ball back.
Once it started with Auburn having a 3 and out, the first drive of the game, right?
Yeah.
That's when,
went backwards immediately.
That's when you and I both texted each other and we said, oh.
And then punted, and they went right down and scored a touchdown. And then it was shut down city for them too. I mean, all they could do was kick field goals.
Is it wrong for me to say that it was a pretty boring game?
Oh, it was terrible. I mean, it was two teams that, I mean, frankly, Texas A&M won the game, but they go back and look at the film. They got a lot of work too. It's better to go to the film session with a win than it is a loss. But I don't know what else to add to this, guys. If anybody has any more, excuse my French. Patrick said, I'm sick of this shit. Hugh Freeze needs change. QB Ashton Daniels. I mean, I just don't know that you continue to run Jackson Arnold out there and expect some magic wand to be waved and all of a sudden he fight through the hurdles that he's having right now. I don't know that he can correct it. Faith. That is it. Like the whole gist of this post game.
Is this what happened at Oklahoma, and that's why he was benched?
Maybe. I mean, I think you're looking at a situation where they went to a true freshman last year. It didn't work out for them. They won 2 SEC games, us and Alabama, which tells you a lot. And Jackson Arnold beat Alabama. He came back in and won that game, but it was because he was running the football. Once it was passing, I don't think he had 100 yards passing. So there's a mental block with Jackson Arnold throwing the football. I don't care. There's really nothing else left to say. And if you continue to have that performance in the SEC, you're not going to win a game. You're not going to beat Missouri. You're not going to beat Vanderbilt. You're not going to beat Georgia and Alabama. I mean, Kentucky could be, because Kentucky's so freaking bad that you could be in the game with them. But outside of that, I don't know who you beat. Not when you throw for 125 yards. I can appreciate protecting the football, but it's to a fault. It is to a fault. And again, he's not doing anything dynamic from the quarterback position to help you win. Do we win an SEC game? I kind of went through it, Charles. I mean, that's kind of where I'm going, but not with Jackson Arnold playing the way he's playing. Again, I don't know if there's anything a coach can do to get him out of the funk that he's in mentally. You can't fix that by going out and going, all right, let's work through this. He has to work through that himself. But I don't know if the ship has sailed. I mean, he transferred from Oklahoma. I think you hit the nail on the head, because he was having the same problem here and he got benched. And so Auburn goes and gets him, and now it's the same problem again. So I don't know. We do want to thank Peppertree Steaks and Wine for allowing us to come to you live post-game reaction. Go check out our Facebook page, our YouTube. We have the press conference, had it loaded up immediately after. So check that out. I mean, I'm with everybody else. I'm kind of over this spiel of why we can't get over the hump. It's another close loss in Hugh Freeze's tenure at Auburn. There's not getting blown out, not losing games by 3, 4, 5 touchdowns. He's losing games by less than a possession,
which
almost is worse, driving the screwdriver in your back and turning it. It is really a tough pill to swallow. And look, we saw the guys coming off the field and coming in the locker room, and then they're disgusted. I mean, now look, they have to go out and make plays and execute too, and but there's a disconnect here. And I'm with, I forgot who said it, maybe Jason. So I'm worried about maybe the mentality of the team. You come back and play Georgia and you lose that game. Now all of a sudden, I don't know what you're fighting for at that point. You're just fighting for maybe, but this is the same theme of the last 4 years at Auburn with losing records. It's a mentality thing. They can't get, like, you think, okay, you got to win a game to get over the hump, and they just can't do it. I mean, I don't know why they can't get over the hump. They can't do it.
If you saw Braden's face when you said that, it was pitiful.
Yep. Well, we're going to go figure something out here to finish off the night. But, again, we appreciate Peppertree Steaks and Wine. We appreciate all of you out there. We know you're frustrated as well. This was not a pretty football game by any stretch. Thought Auburn hung around, had a chance to win the game. But, again, when it boils down to mistakes, if you could have snuck out of here with a win, it'd be great. We'd be talking about getting out with a win. It's a big win on the road, looking forward. But the same problems would still be there, Faith. The problems would not have been cured by getting a win. You would just carry those over and you feel better about yourself. But I just, the penalties and the mental mistakes and then the Jackson Arnold issue is the biggest problem here. I mean, that to me. So, Peppertree Steaks and Wine, everybody go check them out in Auburn on East Glen, or check them out in Montgomery at Peppertree. They've been around for over 25 years in Montgomery. The best steaks, pork chops, ribs, chicken, tiger tails, hamburgers. I mean, everything that you can think of that tastes good, they got it. The wine selection's unbelievable. Kathy, Paula, Kim, Jeff back in the back, who is the butcher. He's the man. No doubt about it, in more ways than one. We love Peppertree Steaks and Wine. We appreciate them so very much. The partnership here with us on Auburn Blitz is phenomenal. Again, they're just great people, and we love being associated with great people. Cody said make Durkin head coach and bring back Gus as offensive coordinator. Man, I don't know. Florida State got beat by Virginia last night, so I don't know. I don't know what the answer is anymore. I'm out of rationale here. I've tried my best, but I think it really boils down to you don't have a quarterback that's able to make the plays that you have to make in this league to win big games. So, hate to be Debbie Downer, but that's just kind of the summation of it. Faith, you got anything you want to add before we get off? We appreciate it.
No.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes, do that.
Again, Auburn will be off this week. We're glad for that. We need a break. So kind of get rested up, and then Georgia comes calling in 2 Saturdays. And look, they're playing Alabama right now, so we'll check in on that. But anyway, we will sign off here at College Station again. Sucks to have lost another game on the road, but I got to pick it up and figure out a way to rebound in a couple of weeks. So appreciate all of you out there that tune us in each and every day. On the Auburn Blitz. We'll be back with Auburn Blitz podcast on Monday. And again, you can follow us there. Go subscribe, hit the like, and you help us out a ton there. So send us out.
Everybody has the best weekend ever.
Make the best out of it. Go help somebody. Go be nice to people. And we'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody.